23 wants the derivative, and it gives us this function. So square root of 2x plus 1 times x cubed. So what type of derivative rule are we going to have to use for this? Got to be product rule. Something times something. So just like the quotient rule, you either need to memorize the formula or memorize the pattern. You know, there's only a couple of these derivative rules that you have to be able to apply. So product rule, the order doesn't really matter in product rule like it does in quotient rule because it has a plus sign in the middle. But you could take the derivative of the first part, bring the power down, lower the power by 1, multiply by the derivative of the inside, chain rule, times the second part left alone. Plus, and then do it the other way. Take the derivative of the second part with the first part left alone. So again, as a free response question, if it simply said find the derivative, you can circle that and be done. But you guys know that most of the time you need to do this, it's multiple choice, and multiple choice is never going to be that far unsimplified. Are you okay with the derivative piece though, where all the parts came from? Okay. Then to start simplifying this, we could say times 2 divided by 2. Those two are going to cancel. And we could move this to the denominator. So we've got this x cubed, move this to the denominator, and I guess I'll start calling them square root again. Okay, you could and you should start to compare your answer to the answer on the back page. Doesn't look the same yet, so that just probably means it needs a little more simplifying. So what could we do to force these two things together? Okay, common denominator. So I would really like to multiply this denominator by 2x, square root of 2x plus 1, but you can't just put this in the denominator without also putting it in the numerator. That way it's like you're multiplying by 1 and you're not changing the size. Okay, so over here we've got 3x squared, and then the square root of 2x plus 1 times the square root of 2x plus 1 is just going to be 2x plus 1. And the purpose of getting those common denominators is so that we could push it together as one big fraction. Okay, again, I would start to check with my choices on a test and see if that is how far they went before they quit. And we're close. I think we need just a little bit more. We could distribute this. Except I almost
96.
Yeah, I almost mismultiplied there. Then I've got 1x cubed here, 6x cubes here, so that would be 7x cubes and 3x squareds. And then finally, if you were looking at some answer choices, you'd probably recognize which one's the same. But what could we do with this numerator? So, I don't know, it doesn't really do much, but they did to get that answer. So, product rule, chain rule in there once, but to simplify we had to get a common denominator, which, you know, happens sometimes, something we have to practice, but doesn't happen all the time. So.